Hello, good morning, good noon, good afternoon, and good evening. So today we have some tasks to do. We are going to be preparing to move to our future headquarters location, which is in the center of the island map. On this episode, one of our goals is to tame dinos that will help us gather the resources we need to build parts of the structures for our headquarters. Today I'm planning to set up a perimeter on the location that we're going to build our base on, and we are using behemoth gates, which is large gates for dinos. For that, it's going to need a lot of wood, stones, and other resources to build it. So we need the best creatures to help us gather the resources for it. First on our list is a beaver or a casteroides. It is a giant species of beaver commonly found in the rivers and ponds on the island's interior. It also appears in the hidden lake. It has waterproof fur and a flat tail for swimming, obviously a beaver. And most importantly, it is one of the best wood gatherers on the game, and we are gonna need it. So I'm here at the location where we tamed the Ichthyornis, which is the seagull that can hunt small creatures and convert the meat into prime meat. The one who helped us tame Shinkuru, or the Argentavis, or the bird that we are riding now. I've built a simple trap, a 1x1 trap. So the plan is to swoop down and grab the beaver using Shinkuru and drop it on the trap and shoot it while they're in the trap using crank darts. We need to clear the area first for any aggressive dinos like the Sarco or the ancient crocodile. They are common around this part, so we need to be careful. So we have our target on site. It's a high level beaver. Notice the Sarco is near it, so we're just gonna go ahead and remove the Sarco. And the best way to do it is we use our bird to scratch its back, and hopefully it goes away. So when the Sarco goes away, it's now safe to grab our beaver and drop it on the trap we made. And this dude is near the rocks, so we have to be precise on our movements here. Beavers have high torpor, so you need to prepare a ton of darts and bring a ton of narcotics. We need to be watching this guy out when taming because he wakes up fast. So you need to keep feeding them narcotics or narco berries to keep them asleep. And we're just gonna grab him and put him on our trap. Hopefully this works. Do hope this works, because I didn't bring any extra with me. And surprise, surprise, our trap didn't work since we're using a double door frame, so we need to use a single door frame. And I need to gather the ingredients or the resources for that. Whew, I thought it would work. Yeah, they're large, and yeah, I think they're not large enough. Okay, so we're just gonna gather some of our stuff here, and we're gonna build a single door frame, and hopefully it's gonna work. Hopefully. So wooden structures are okay, and sometimes it would actually take a lot of times to shoot them, and they could attack the door frames, and they have like a multiplier damage against wood structures or wooden structures, because they're beavers. Obviously they cut in wood, so it would take them not long to just destroy a wooden structure, so you need to watch out for that. Hopefully our settings are boosted so they can be knocked out for a while, but still less than the normal settings. That should be enough. So you can feed them using mejo berries, crops, or kibble, and add in narcotics or narco berries you have, and just babysit them. If the torpor goes down or the violet bar goes down, feed them the narcotics or the narco berries. So I've been waiting for our beaver to get up. I decided to tame this Listersaurus. I call them experience boosters because when you pet them, they have an effect or area of effect that can boost your creature's experience. They will be useful in late game. You may feed them mejo berries, crops, or kibble. I manually feed them when they're hungry, and no need to tranquilize them. All you need is to put the food of your choice on the last bar of your hot bar, then go near them, and when they're hungry, then press feed. For me, it's triangle. For kibble, we're soon gonna tackle that once we're settled on to our new headquarter. We have a ton of things to do in this game, and for me, I've barely scratched the surface of what it can offer, and I'm very excited on the future episodes on this series as well. And as we can see here, I'm planning to name her Beverly. She's gonna soon wake up. Let's just wait for it. Wait for it. And just a couple of seconds. 3, 2, there we go. So, as planned, we're gonna name her Beverly. And planning to add hills on it. Beverly Hills. It sounds nice, don't you think? It sounds nice. Okay, I'm just typing it in. You won't see my keyboard. I think it's a safety feature for PS4s. So I named her Mrs. Beverly. So we're gonna take both of the dinos or creatures that we've, the XP booster and Beverly home. So I use my fangs to carry XP booster, and I've used my my talons to carry Beverly Hills. So let's see, let's go. So we're on to our second goal on this episode, and we're back on the mountain where we tamed our Argentavis, and I brought with us Mrs. Beverly to accompany us, and we're here to get our hands of the best stone gatherer on the island map, which is the Duidicarus, this dude. So you may find most of them on mountainous areas in the island map, and we're eyeing for that guy, which has a decent level. They're a passive tame, which means we need to tranquilize them and feed them their preferred food. So you may feed them either regular kibble, crops, or any berries, except for narco or stem berries. So we're gonna use a rifle with tranq darts with max levels. They may take up to 36 tranq darts, and it's highly suggested to shoot them on their heads because the shells might affect the effects of the tranq darts. It could take you a lot more than it should be if you shoot them with just their body, because they have a shell on it. They're like a turtle. So my plan is I'm gonna use both the Duidicarus and the Beaver to gather the resources needed for the behemoth gates, and some for the foundations of our base, and I'm planning to craft these on the herbivore outpost on our first base, so I can freely gather all the resources without worrying if I'm gonna be attacked by any aggressive dinos. And I'm gonna use the 3 cargo pteranodons that we have in Shinkiro here to carry the crafted behemoth gates and the building structures for the future headquarter areas, or to the place that we're gonna build our future headquarter area, which is roughly at the center of the map. and I'm just eyeing here because we need to be careful. Always remember, on the redwoods, if you're flying, don't fly below the trees, because we're gonna watch out for the best land animal for me, which is we're gonna hopefully tame one later. It's called a Thailacalio. Most of it is found on Australia. It's like an ancient tiger, or I mean, an ancient lion. They regularly spend their time up above the tree lines, and if you're flying near those trees, and for unfortunate events there is a Thailacalio on those trees, just good luck, because they're gonna jump on you, and it will be fine if your bird or your dinos are following you, because or they're on neutral, because they can attack. But what if you're flying a dino that could not kill the said Thailacalio? That could potentially waste such good dino that you have. So right now I'm just shooting him a bunch, because it would take a lot of arrows for them to, for him to pass out. And also, guys, I would like to take this time that I would really appreciate if you subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, so you won't miss any of the new episodes that will come out soon. And I'll be making more episodes for art, as mentioned, and we barely scratched the surface of this game, so I'm very excited of what I can share with you guys, and what we can experience together, and more gameplays as well for any other games that would come out soon. I'm planning to buy us a Dying Light too, so watch out for that. I'm really looking forward for that game, actually. So also please leave a like to show your support on this channel. It won't take 5 minutes, and it would greatly help the channel. And leave comments as well if you have any feedbacks, or show how you feel about the overall experience you have with the channel, or what your comments about the game. I really appreciate you for watching, and thank you for your support. So I'm at our first outpost, in the herbivore outpost. I'm just finishing up on gathering all the things we need to set up a perimeter for our future headquarters in the center of the map. As always, I have a backup flyer with some backup equipments, just in case an accident happened. I need to make sure that when I get back on my feet, I have all the things I needed, just in case. I already have most of the cargo. Pteranodon carried all the loads, and they're currently waiting for me in the mountain, the one where we hunt the Doedicurus. And I'm just bringing some of the pre-made equipment here. I've managed to craft a fabricator, a generator, and other advanced equipment, which I will explain on a later episode. With these advanced equipment, we can slowly go to our next objective, which is caving to retrieve artifacts. Artifacts are needed for some boss fights, on all boss fights in this game. And I'm really excited on the boss fight, which we will dive in real soon. I've gathered most of the ingredients for the advanced equipments from the tech berries by breeding them and killing their offspring, and they can actually give you a ton of equipments needed for the advanced stuff, which are scraps, electronics, oil, element dust, and such. And I've produced gasoline using oil and hide, adding those in onto the furnace, which produces gasoline. So now we're gonna be heading to the center of the map, and which is just down below the mountain that we were at before. And we're just gonna go travel there, and hopefully everything goes smoothly from here. Hopefully we won't be needing to respawn, just in case there's any aggressive dino. And take note, at that uh, corner of the map, there's a lot, so be careful. Hi, editor KENKOY here. I can't help but appreciate what the game developers made. This game is really immersive, and to think that you can go on an adventure and explore certain maps and even bring with you some friends along the way. You may also share this experience with your friends. Just look how amazing this looks. Below those trees are some creatures, varies in sizes, lurking around waiting for their prey, or maybe just chilling. I'm really excited on beating this game with you guys. Stay with me on this journey. This is just the first map, and there are other maps out there that I'm also excited to explore with you guys. So as always, I really appreciate you guys for watching, and thank you. For real, thank you. You can see our cargo pteranodons are waiting for us. I'm just dropping some of the items that we don't need, like the obsidians. I got the obsidians on the volcano across the mountain where we're at now. So we're gonna have to bring Beverly and cargo crew down the center of the map. So from here, we're going here. With the equipments I've got, I believe it's enough to just build a perimeter and some foundations on where our headquarters will be erected. Our priority is to clear the area first, to make sure that when we get off Shinkuru, no creatures will come and eat our heads. So we're gonna go in and clear some aggressive dinos. Most of the dinos we'll see there are as follows: dire bears, terror bird, ants, big ants, flying ants, crawling ants, in some special occasions, rexus, allosaur, spinosaur, some argent goes down there too, and among other wild dinos. So we really need to be careful on how we do this. So we need to plan things out. So first, I'm gonna go and use Shinkuru to clear the area and add in some behemoth gates. I'm using these gates as walls because they're really taller than the normal Rexes. Also, the gates has a ton of hit points on it, so if a creature bit off of it, it will take them a lot of effort to destroy just one gate, and with enough time for us to defend our gate. After we set up the perimeter, we're gonna then go back and call the cargo crew and get the structures they're carrying to build the foundations of our headquarters. Foundations are really important when building things, because that's the only way you can build up from the foundation floor. So that's really important that we set up first, because I'm planning to make a huge headquarters. So our cargo crew consists of pteranodons. They cannot carry a lot, but they can carry most of the important stuff that we need. So I built some stone foundations, stone pillars, stone roof, stone walls, stone windows. We're fully building the headquarters after we set up the foundations and the perimeters, because the structure I'm planning to build is a really huge one. It will be huge the more we get into the game, the more we are close on the end of the game. So right now I'm just eyeing out if there's any large creatures or not. for starters, maybe I can go with a 10 by 10 area for the headquarter, but maybe more. We'll see. The structure will get better too as we progress with the game. For your information, it took me days to gather all these structures, because gathering all these recipes for the structures really took me some time, even though I am using the best dinos to gather most of the structures, like for example thatch, wood, and stones. I've got all the dinos I need for gathering a lot of those stuff. So imagine I am already playing on a higher rates than the normal settings. For example, if you try to gather wood, you can gather at least maybe 50 or 100 from a tree. But for me, I could gather around 200 to 300 worth of trees by just destroying one tree. So that's how powerful my rates are, and that's made because I am a solo player. So we need to be realistic here. I can't keep gathering those stuff. I've spent days to just gather this on higher rates. What if I use the normal rates? It could maybe weeks or months. So this is just my preference because I'm playing solo. So that's that. Anyways, with these gathering stuff, I would really love to show you guys videos of it, but it took me days. So maybe in the future I can live stream it, you know, when I get my hands on a computer soon. You know, let's attract that. Hopefully, right? Soon, I will get it. With your help too. Maybe someday we're gonna grow our community. So I'm really looking forward for that, guys. So I'm just laying out the foundations now. Most of the dire bears and terror birds and also the ants are gone. So I'm just aligning this, making sure that it's straight, but the main objective here is not to allow any dinos to just easily get in. Alright, so we've successfully walled off most of the areas where dinos might get in. There are some cracks that we have to cover up with walls but pretty much most of the large areas or large dinosaurs could not get in to bite our heads off, so that's a win-win situation. So we're on to the next phase, and we're just gonna get the crew down here and build up the foundations. And here we are. So we're just getting the structures that we're gonna use. We start by laying down some stone foundations. So I'm planning to build a 10 by 10 foundations of an area. Foundations are important, so you can build above the foundations no matter how many layers you add up on a structure. We also want our main building to be near the water source, so maybe we'll build the building near the edge. Water is important to supply some of the equipments that we're going to be using moving forward, and water is important as well for crops, because we're going to build a new greenhouse on this new headquarters, and probably a huge one, maybe one of each berries, and well, the important berries, which is stem berries, narco berries, and all the four of the crops. I believe those four. That's rock carrot, potato, corn, and what else? The citrus, which is the orange or the lemon. And water is important for us to survive too. Now, we're just gonna lay out all the structures here. Alright, this could be our center right over here. We're just gonna lay down exactly the same. Okay, now we notice that the foundations would dip. So what we do on this situation is adding up some stone ceilings or roofs. So you can't add up a ceiling 3 times from the foundation. You can make a ceiling a foundation as long as you incorporate a stone pillar at its center. So that ceiling that has a pillar on it would act up as a foundation, so you can build above it, but you need to connect that with a pillar from the edge. So we're just gonna complete the circle, the square here, which is, we're gonna need at least a 10 by 10 area on each side. And if you need to be squared on this, so what I mean is the structures or the foundations should be aligned with each other, like this one. Now, sometimes you come up with this kind of situation where the foundations would go into a terrain. What I tend to do here is to build up above this, still aligned, but just above a foundation. We're gonna put in a stone ceiling above it, so it's still aligned, so no foundations will stick out. I'm gonna explain on a very special episode which will tackle buildings. For now, I'm just laying out the foundations. All you need to remember is to just straighten it out, make sure that foundations does not stack up with each other like this. It will not be above a certain one, so it needs to be aligned. If you want to go above, make sure it's straight up by putting foundations at the center of or putting stone pillars at the center of each foundation, then adding up a ceiling on it, so it would still be straight. I don't know if you get it, but I will explain it, I promise, on an episode with building. So like this, it should be at the center. We'll put it right over here, so we're gonna use up the very edge of this pillar or this foundation, and just put the ceiling above it, like so. Just go straight like that. You don't need any pillars on that because we already have foundations below. Alright, so this guy is really getting comfortable around here. Argent Cavis will attack you if they're aggressive, so This guy is a low level one, so don't need to tame him. Level 10. We're just gonna have to feed him to Shinkuru, and we're just gonna continue laying out the foundations here. Alright, this should be the edge, so just gonna go square, and that's the last one. Okay, I need to put a pillar on this. Alright, pillar here. Let's put the pillar here. Okay, there. And put the ceiling. That should all be squared up now. We make sure that the whole foundations are all squared up. We'll now proceed on adding in the pillars for the corners of the second layer of the build. I'm planning to build the main base on top of the second layer. In adding a second layer or any layers to your build, make sure it's above a foundation. That's why we made sure that all of these foundations can support the layers above it. It won't, or you won't be able to build above it if it's not a full foundation. So I'm just adding in the pillars at the corner so we can start building the second layer using stone ceilings. And that should be enough height. I made sure that there's enough room below for large dinos that we might have to keep down below on this build. So right now we're just gonna create a small platform for our Shinkuru to land on, and also for me to get down. Hopefully we can stick this landing. Right, there we go. Alright, so let's add this. This should be enough to give us some room to go down, and we're just gonna fill out the second layer with the stone ceilings that we built. So just a sidetrack, I noticed this crack here, so we're just gonna go ahead and cover this up. So we're planning to add some pillars on this up until above of it, but for now we're just focusing this part down below, because wolves, or rather raptors or hyenas, could go down here and they could enter that small space. So instead of putting in all pillars, I decided to just put in some walls here. Just gonna add this foundation so we can attach a wall on it right there, and then get the walls. Do I have the walls here? Yes, I do. Let's use this stone wall. Alright, there we go. And I need to cover this one too, so I need a ceiling and add a wall on it. Right. Okay, this has a gap on it too, so let's see, can we add another layer here? There we go. So that managed to clip onto another foundation that was built underneath. Alright, so now let's see. So now we're just gonna continue filling out the second layer of the build, which will support the main structure of the base. I will also add an easy way to get up from the ground floor to the second layer in the next episode. I'm also running out of materials here. Let's see how many foundations I can lay around the base. In the future, I'm planning to make the entire terrain a foundation, so it will be smoothed out a bit, but that's in the future. I need to set up a small base for the meantime. See how this goes. This should be the last bit. Now that we have a clean level floor that we can build on. We'll use this as our platform to build the rest of our base. I might build a bird's nest up here too. We'll see along the way. So this is all supported with the foundations below. The pillar that I built earlier is only for me to put these ceilings so I can touch it, but it doesn't support everything, the pillars. So just for logic, I can just put pillars on each corner here. See, and it's just one pillar just supporting it, one pair of pillar. So to make it more logical, so I'm just gonna add all the 4 pillars around it, and just gonna build this up. So the other one too. And the last one. Alright. So that should be the most of, I mean, that's all of the materials that we have. So thank you for speaking with me on this episode, guys, and I really am looking forward for what we can build on this game and what adventures is in store for us, because there's a lot of things that we haven't tackled yet because we're still starting up. But on my level is still not starting up for you, but I have also learned the basics in months, and I haven't even played the other maps, so that would be a new adventure once we've finished, or once we've defeated all the boss on this island map. And as always, guys, thank you for watching my video, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It would help the channel greatly. And on this channel I will be making a lot of content about video games that might be coming out soon. Speaking of Dying Light 2, I'm really excited to play with that and show that with you guys. And also more episodes for Arcus. This is my favorite game. Second is Minecraft. If you only knew, when I was not working yet, I was dreaming of getting my hands on art before, and that was on a computer computer shop here in the Philippines, which we only rent computers to play on. I don't really own one, so it for me, I didn't thought that I will be here, but I'm glad I'm here, talking to you guys about the games that I wanted to play for a long time. And I really appreciate you guys for watching my videos. If you can do me a favor, you can share this. That would greatly help. It would not take you any minute. Just share it and leave a like and leave a comment as well. Maybe suggestions or how you feel about the episode. Also, guys, I am editing this using my phone, just my phone, and I've learned a lot to do things that I want to do with the things that I already have. I can't have a computer, but I have a PS4, so I'm just making most of what I have, and hopefully I can grow my channel and improve how my content looks, how I sounded, because I'm only using a headset. So see you guys on the next episode.